The Israeli Prime Minister has set Europe ablaze. From Barcelona to Rome, thousands taking to the streets angry over Israel's interception of a Gaza-bound humanitarian aid flotilla. Traffic was blocked, shops and restaurants vandalized as pro-Palestinian protesters raised their voices demanding justice for the Palestinians in Gaza. And the anger is taking shape in different parts of Europe after the armed Israeli forces boarded around 40 civilian vessels attempting to deliver aid to Gaza, detaining more than 400 foreign activists, including the Swedish climate campaigner Greta Thunberg. According to reports, the final vessel of the Global Flotilla was intercepted at 10:29 a.m. local time. Just 42.5 nautical miles from Gaza, over 38 relentless hours, the Israeli naval forces seized all 42 humanitarian vessels, each carrying aid, volunteers, and the unwavering resolve to break the blockade. A video circulating online showing Israeli National Security Minister addressing the detained participants of the flotilla, which includes journalists held in Israeli facilities in the Nakab region. In the footage, he seems to refer to the detainees as terrorist prisoners, citing their attempt to deliver humanitarian aid, including baby formula, to Gaza. The interception of the flotilla in international waters and those remarks sparking global outrage over the treatment of humanitarian activists and more so about Israel's conduct in the war. In Barcelona, protesters smashed windows, spray-painted anti-Israel slogans on stores and restaurants. They accused some businesses of complicity in Israel's blockade. In Paris, about 30 people came together to protest in front of the Israeli embassy in Paris in support of the flotilla.
I came to demonstrate in front of the Israeli embassy to show our support for the people of Gaza and to demonstrate that the French people denounce the genocide currently being committed in Gaza by the Israeli army.
In Italy, students occupied universities in Milan, Rome, blocking traffic in Turin, holding flash mobs in solidarity with Gaza's health workers.
I believe that states must recognize the state of Palestine, as well as all those territories that today suffer violence, aggression, and wars. And I believe we have a duty to make everyone recognize the chance for a way of life that allows people to look towards the future.
Italian unions have also called for a general strike with more than 100 rallies across the country. The Italian defense minister has criticized these protests as disruptive tactics, questioning whether blocking roads and destroying property could truly help the Palestinians. But the anger is palpable across Europe. Parts including Paris, Berlin, Geneva have witnessed rallies condemning Israel's actions in Gaza.
My daughter, Misha Dolan, author and journalist, is on the follow-up flotilla, the 1,000 Madeleines. They're about 6 days away from where Global Sumud were today. And so I'm here in solidarity, number one, with Palestine, because they're being subjected to genocide every day of their lives. And number two, with the flotilla and my daughter.
In Greece, protesters clashed with the riot police outside the Israeli embassy, chanting for Palestinian freedom. While Tunisian crowds gathered near the US embassy calling for the release of the detained flotilla members. And it's not just Europe. The pro-Palestinian protest has become loud globally. Demonstrations have also spread to different parts, including Mexico City, Dhaka, Istanbul, where protesters carried banners reading, "End the blockade, freedom for the flotilla."
Turkey, Jordan, Egypt, many states in the Middle East, I don't know, the states here and there in the West, are indifferent to war in Gaza. People are constantly accelerating and escalating this process. We are, in fact, part of that flotilla. That's how the people here see themselves clearly and openly.
And back in Gaza, displaced residents were hoping for supplies from the flotilla and are now devastated and in despair.
As soon as we heard that the Freedom Flotilla had set sail, I rushed here, and since then I have been waiting for them every day on the beach. Most of the people here are like me, waiting to welcome them. Unfortunately, we learned that some of the ships were intercepted by the Israeli Navy, their communications and internet cut off, totally isolated.
These ships that Israel prevented were meant to reveal the truth to the world. We wanted them to come here to play their role in exposing our suffering and the lack of food and water. We want them to reach Gaza, bring aid to the people, and break the siege.
We hope that the Freedom Flotilla will reach us, but I think the Israelis won't allow them, and I don't expect they can make it here. They don't want the world to see the people's condition here and the miserable reality we are living in. It's completely different from what people in the West and foreign countries have heard. It's far worse than anything they were told.
Residents in Gaza are seeing their hope of receiving aid fading. The flotilla comprises of around 50 vessels with over 500 volunteers from more than 40 countries and was trying to challenge Israel's naval blockade and deliver food and medical aid. The Israeli Foreign Ministry confirmed that the ships were detained safely and passengers transferred to Israeli ports. But the interception has sparked an unprecedented wave of protests worldwide. Since the war broke out in Gaza in 2023, the Israeli offensive has killed more than 66,000 Palestinians. Israel, of course, began that offensive after Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, in which some 1,200 people were killed and 251 taken as hostages back to Gaza. And despite a peace plan that has been pushed by US President Donald Trump, the Israeli offensive in Gaza continues. Israel has told the entire million-strong population of Gaza City to head south as it mounts one of the biggest offensives of the war this month, vowing to root out Hamas in what it says are their last bastions in Gaza's biggest urban area. Meanwhile, only 14 of Gaza's 36 hospitals remained partly functional. There is a vast shortage of medical supplies. Israel saying there is no quantitative limit on aid entering Gaza and accuses Hamas, which it has been at war with for nearly 2 years now, of stealing aid. Accusations that the Palestinian group denies. The world is watching these developments. At this point, it's a combination of grief, anger, and for the displaced, the injured, and those waiting for aid. It's a long wait. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.